Gentlemen, I love war. Gentlemen, I love war. Gentlemen, I so love war. I love Holocaust, I love Blitzkrieg, I love onslaught, I love defensive, I love besiegement, I love breakthrough, I love retreat, I love mop-up, I love withdrawal. On the plains, in the streets, in the trenches, on the prairies, on the tundra, in the desert, on the sea, in the sky, in the mud, in the swamp. I cherish each and every way war can be waged on this earth. I love the thunderous roar of all artillery arrayed at the battle line firing at once as it blows away the enemy line. My heart dances when the bodies of enemy troops are hurled into the air in pieces from a direct hit. I love it when a Tiger tank smashes an enemy tank with its 88mm cannon. It left a warm feeling in my chest when the enemy soldiers would jump screaming from the blazing tank only to be mowed down by machine gun fire. I love it when the infantry ranks overrun the enemy lines, bayonets first. It moves me when I remember the sight of a new recruit in a state of panic, stabbing an already dead enemy soldier over and over. I can hardly contain myself thinking of hanging the defeatist deserters from the streetlights, and it is superb when the enemy prisoner screams in time with the shriek escaping from the Schmeiser I hold as I mow him down. I even remember distinctly the 4.8-ton shrapnel shells from the Dora pulverizing the whole city blocks, where the pitiful resistance fighters heroically stood up against us with their assorted small arms. I love the Ruski armored divisions thrown into disorder. It is very, very sad thing when the villages they should have protected to the death are overrun and the women and children are violated and killed. I love the English and American war machines being crushed and annihilated. Their creeping about on the ground like vermin, chased by the Jabot, is the height of humiliation. Gentlemen, I wish to see a war worthy of one in hell itself. Gentlemen, my battalion of comrades who follow me, pray tell, what do you wish for? Do you wish for a war as a matter of course? Do you wish for a merciless shit-like war? Do you wish for a storm-like conflict which runs the gamut of blowing steel and striking flame, killing every crow in the entire world? Very well. Then let it be Krieg. All our strength is held in a clenched fist, poised to strike. But for we who have continued to endure a whole half a century in the depths of these dark shadows, a simple war is no longer enough. A great war, one born of our single-hearted devotion. We are merely one battalion, no more than 1,000 troop remnants. But I believe that you are all matchless, hardened veterans. So, gentlemen, together we are an army as powerful as 1,000,000 regular soldiers. Let us rouse those slumbering ones who drove us into the realm of forgetfulness. Let us seize them by their hair, drag them down, open their eyes, and make them remember. We shall make them remember the taste of terror. We shall make them remember the sound of our war boots. We shall remind them that something in the interval between heaven and earth they don't even recall with their philosophy does indeed exist. The Krump group of 1,000 vampires will burn the world to a crisp. Commence preparation for Operation Sea Lion 2. Let's go, gentlemen. My friends, it has often been said that I like war. My friends, I like war. No. Friends, I love war. I love holocausts. I love blitzkriegs. I love defensive lines. I love sieges, charges. I love mop-up operations and retreats. Wars across prairies, in streets, in trenches, in grasslands, in frozen tundras, through deserts, on the sea, in the air. I love every act of war that can occur upon this earth. I love blasting the enemy to smithereens with artillery salvos that thunder across the lines of battle. My heart leaps with joy whenever a soldier is tossed high into the air and cut to pieces by well-placed sniper rounds. And there is nothing like a tank operator using a Tiger Oct-Oct to destroy enemy tanks. And the feeling that comes when the soldier runs screaming from his blazing tank only to be mowed down by heavy machine gun fire is such an exquisite feeling. Like when ranks of infantry brandish their bayonets, rushing into the enemy line. It moves me deep within my heart to watch a fresh recruit stabbing over and over into the bloated chest of a long-dead enemy. The sight of deserters being strung up from a street lamp is an irresistible pleasure. And there's nothing more arousing than the sounds made by prisoners of war dropping like flies, screaming in agony as they're mowed down by ear-piercing schmeisels. When a band of pitiful resistance fighters make their final stand with nothing but small arms, only to have their city smashed to atoms block by 4.8-ton bombshells, I'm in ecstasy. I love it when my forces are ravaged by the Russian armored division. It's so sad to see towns and villages that were supposed to be defended at all costs being laid to waste, their women and children being raped and killed. I love to be squashed under the heel of the British and American war machines. The humiliation as my men crawl around like vermin, ducking the Jagd bombers flying overhead. Gentlemen, all I ask for is war. War so grand as to make hell itself tremble. Gentlemen, I ask you, as fellow brothers in arms, what is it that you really want? Do you wish for further war as I do? Do you wish for a merciless, bloody war? A war whose fury is built with iron and lightning and fire? Do you ask for war to sweep in like a tempest, leaving not even ravens to scavenge from this earth? Very well. Then Krieg is what you shall have. We are a clenched fist, ready to strike down all who oppose us with our might. But after enduring over half a century wallowing in the darkness, for us, a simple, ordinary war will no longer be sufficient. We need a massive war! A war beyond any other that man's history has ever known! We are but a single battalion, the remnants of a defeated army numbering less than 1,000 strong. However, I believe that each of you old warriors is equal to 1,000 of their sickly, soft children. We represent a force that could easily defeat an army of 1,000,001 men. It is time for them to awake the ones that sent us screaming into oblivion, who now lie sleeping. Let's drag them out by the hair and remind them of what we are. We will remind them of what it feels like to live in fear. We will remind them of the sound of our jackboots make against their throats. We will remind them that there are more things between heaven and hell than they are dreamt in their philosophy. Our Kampfgruppe of 1,000 vampires is going to burn this world to the ash. Yes, my friends, soon Europe's charred remains will illuminate the night sky. I have brought you back just as I promised I would. Back to our favorite battlefield. Back to our beloved war. At last, the sea lion has crossed the ocean and is heading up the hill. Attention, all soldiers of the Millennium Battalion! This is a message from your commander. Friends, let's bring them hell. Gentlemen, Operation Bait Van Winkle is a resounding success. Alucard is now exactly where we need him to be, so we can move forward with our little surprise. However, before we begin our next phase, I would like to take some time to address a rumor floating across the fleet. Some of you have come to believe that I like war. I wish to dash these rumors. I do not like war. I love war. Through my life, I have discovered so many forms of war. You get up in the morning, you get into your shitty car, and you see a rich CEO who works half as hard as you do drive down the street in his Porsche. Class 4. You make it to work, and you find out that the annual drug test is today, and you just so happen to take a puff of your one heater a couple nights ago before dinner with your wife's awful parents. Drug war. But then, you find out that the only ones being called in for testing are your black and Hispanic co-workers. Race war. Then you try and post about it on your Facebook, but then all your friends start arguing about what's right and what's wrong. Flame war. You finally get home and you decide to relax by watching a program about who gets the box, what's in the box, how much is what's in the box worth. Storage wars. What I am telling you, my Nazi army of 1,000 vampires, is that I am a purveyor of war. And with your help over the years, we are now at the precipice of our true goal. You see, I want a simple war. No class wars, no drug wars, no race wars, no flame wars, and certainly no cold wars. Blue-balled for 40 years. What I want is a war that only we can bring. A true war. A German war. The sequel you've all been waiting for. I want World War III!